Well, good morning, Salem, and welcome to this midweek reflection on this August 31st, the last day of August. As we move into September, we have a lot of cool things happening. We are doing God's Work Our Hands on September 11th, where after worship, we will be putting together little packages for those experiencing homelessness. We also have our first hosting event for the Faith Formation. Every third Wednesday of the month, we will be hosting the St. Stephen's Salem youth at here at Salem, the third Wednesday of every month, for a meal and an activity. And we're not in charge of planning the activity, but we are in charge of getting that meal ready. So we need volunteers now to start planning the meals and the ways in which we can host the kids of St. Stephen's and Salem. I'm really looking forward to those events. The meal starts at 5:30 on those Wednesday nights. So if you can be involved in any way, even just to be a greeter for those kids, to learn their names, to hear them tell their stories, I think that's going to be a great way to build those connections. So, and then we also have coming up the first since COVID Feed My Starving Children event. That's going to be September Friday 23rd from 4:30 to 6:15, and there are 15 slots available. So if that interests you at all, please put that on your calendar. Again, Friday the 23rd, 4:30 to 6:15. A big thanks to all who participated in the used clothing sale. We had a great success with over $1,400 raised, and maybe in the selling of a few other treats and goodies there at the end. Maybe we went over 1,500. Well, I haven't heard the final tally, but it was a great success nonetheless. So we were able to provide really good quality clothing at really low prices to those within our community, and so I'm grateful for all involved there. As we move into September, we are finishing up our Year C um, lectionary texts in the Gospel of Luke. And the few things that I lifted up here in the announcements are food related, or at least two of the main things are the hosting of the kids Wednesday night and the Feed My Starving Children that's going to happen at the end of September. And what I love about the Gospel of Luke, which is what we're working through here in Year C, is that Luke is the Gospel of meals. Meals. Every other chapter, it feels like Jesus is sitting down to have a meal with people, and this is unique to Luke. We can think of the feeding of the 5,000 and the Last Supper; those show up in all of the Gospels, but Luke has five unique meals, five unique stories that work around them sitting at a table sharing meals. And many of Luke's parables also include banquets, like wedding banquets and feasts. We've just heard a couple in our last couple Sundays. And so, as we consider these events coming up in September around food, how we're hosting the children of St. Stephen's in Salem, how we're going to work with Feed My Starving Children again, um, we can consider the many ways in which food and the dinner table works as just a beautiful illustration of hospitality and God's love. I think we take that for granted sometimes. Many of us, it's not a question of when or what we will eat, or when we will eat. It's a question of what we will eat, and that's a privilege that we have. Um, so when we do gather around a table to eat together with friends or family, we have every opportunity to experience a glimpse of the gospel, to share in that feast of victory for our God that we sing about. So I want to encourage you as we move into September, as kids start gathering around lunch tables at school, or as you start to recalibrate your schedules and maybe carve out some a time together at dinner to eat all around the table. How can you utilize that time to listen, to learn, and to love one another? Um, and hopefully, we can have a Luke-like experience um, around our dinner tables. We can experience Christ and the teachings that he has to share and the love that God pours out in abundance. So, blessings to you on this week ahead, and I'll see you around.